Conflict. What do we do with conflict? We have conflict all over the place. We have conflict in the workplace. We have conflict with the neighbors in the neighborhood. We have conflict, and the hardest conflict that we have is the conflict in the family. This is really the kind of conflict that I was thinking of when I was thinking about this video. Although I know we have these all conflict in relationships all over the place, but what do you do when you have conflict with your spouse? What do you do when you have conflict with your kids? What do you do when you have conflict with your parents and you're an adult, right? What do you do? There's a lot of conflict inside of families. There's conflict in all relationships, and conflict is so difficult. And how do we manage that? And what do we do with that? I've always kind of joked about myself that whenever I get involved in conflict, I am more like pouring gasoline on a fire than I am in diffusing the situation. It's just, I can just get caught up in it, and I've had to work on that over the years, and I've struggled with that, and it's part of who I am, and it's a sinful part of who I am that I need to take note of. So when we have conflict, and especially when we have conflict with someone we love, there are a couple things I think we need to do. First of all, I think we need to understand something. James 3:17 and 18 is talking about wisdom, and it says that the wisdom that is from God, and it describes wisdom from God. There are a couple of things in there that it mentions in verse 17. One is it says that it's peaceful, and the other thing it says that it's willing to yield. True wisdom from above is having an attitude that is willing to be peaceful and that is willing to yield, even when you don't think you should, even when you don't think it's your responsibility. It's got to be that willingness. The verse 18 of that passage says that the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. The fruit of righteousness, the fruit that we want to see, the outcome that we want to see, is going to be sown by the seeds that the peacemaker plants. And so that's what we need to keep in mind is that when conflict comes, we need to sow the seeds of righteousness and be the one who makes peace. So here's the first thing you need to do. Well, you need to pray for them. If ever you have conflict with, you need to pray for them. I know you don't feel like it. I know you don't want to, but you need to pray for them. But hold on, because it's going to get even worse. But you need to pray for them, and not only do you need to pray for them, here's one thing you need to pray about for them, and I may do some more going into next week, but one thing you need to pray for them is you need to pray a blessing on them. Right? You heard me. The person that you're in conflict with, you need to pray a blessing from God upon them. You need to pray that God would make his face to shine upon them. You need to pray that God would move into their life and do something special. You need to pray that God would show himself strong and mighty and real to them in